I want to introduce other guests joining us on this broadcast. Pawan Verma of the Janata Dal United. You know, he's very strongly in the NDA, but sometimes he bowls a few off spinners and some googlies, a few Chinamen as well. So let's see what he's got up his sleeve right now. RPN Singh, Sachin Pilot's dear friend, RPN Singh joining us. Some lessons Sachin showing to the young generation of the Congress. Let's see if RPN speaking on any of those lessons. Amit Malviya, the social media czar of the Bharatiya Janata Party, all-powerful social media army, not translating into extra votes in Rajasthan or Madhya Pradesh or Chhattisgarh, but on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, they remain very, very powerful. And just before I go to my guest, we also want to show you what Pradeep Gupta, you know, you've got Sachin Pilot, Rahul Gandhi, Kamal Nath, the heroes of the day, but for us the hero of the day is Pradeep Gupta, the lead pollster at Access My India. I want to show you the predictions that were put out by India today, square them tonight with the final verdict. And that is crucial because, you know, there's a lot of bluster, lots of noise, but the only people who knew what they were talking about throughout the campaign was the India Today Access My India team. I want to show you on our screen what our team at Access My India and the India Today data team predicted. Compare this with the final results. Nobody else will put up a graphic. There were some channels that had the absurdity of having one poll show the BJP in the lead, the other poll show the Congress in the lead. Heads I win, tails I win. I can always claim, even if I turn polling into a gimmick, that I was on the winning side. So here it is. The Access My India, India Today, Chhattisgarh projection compared with the final results. In Madhya Pradesh, of course, the numbers are still changing. So we said that the Congress could end up with up to 65 seats. Remember, the BJP was convinced, lots of pundits in Chhattisgarh were convinced that this was a tight fight and that Raman Singh was in the lead. In fact, some very respected polling agencies said that the BJP would win. 65 was the upper limit of what Pradeep Gupta and Access My India said. Square that with the 68 that the Congress actually picked up. And in fact, Pradeep told me that I won't be surprised if it goes beyond 65. That's actually what happened. The BJP predicted between 21 and 31, they got 16. You know, when it comes to polling, that's about as good can get. I want to show you now the numbers from Rajasthan. Here again, look at the trend, look at the direction, look at the message of the poll, and then compare that with what's happening. 119 was the lower limit of his prediction. 101 is what they've got. The BJP, Pradeep and his team predicted would be between 55 and 72. 73 is what they got. So what seems to have happened here is that you've got more others than your poll picked up. Why is that the case, Pradeep Gupta?
See, there were more rebels, particularly in case of Congress. We have said there are about 12 strong rebels in Congress camp, as against 6 strong rebels in BJP camp. It seems all of them has won. We predicted about 11 to 14 in others, but I think all rebels has won.
Okay. I now come to Madhya Pradesh. This is the ultimate test of any pollster. When you've got a battle that is going down to the wire, when 77 seats are being won or lost by a margin of less than 2,000, that is where you test a pollster's mettle and whether a channel knows what it's talking about or not. The prediction was between 104 to 122 seats for the Congress. 114 is what they're leading at. That's bang in the middle of that range. The BJP was projected to get between 102 to 120. 109 is where they're at. That is quite incredible. Completely incredible.
I want to make one more point here, Rahul. The midpoint of these two range, best and worst. Congress, it was 113, and BJP, it was 111. And most importantly, the vote share we predicted 41% for the Congress and BJP 40 odd. I never give figures in decimals. Otherwise, it would have been 41% for both the party, and both the party are standing as of now at 41%.
Absolutely. I want to show you now, it's not just these 3 states, there's also Telangana. Look at our projection, compare that with the ultimate result. We said that TRS would get between 79 and 91. They're at 88, Ashutosh. The Congress and the TDP we predicted would be between 21 and 33. They're at 89. 19. Others, the BJP between 1 and 3, they're at 1. This again is as close and as accurate as any exit poll, any post-poll study is ever going to get.
Mizoram.
So that's the track record. It's about as good can get. And to celebrate, I want to just quickly bring out this cake which our producers have arranged late into the night. They said we've all been working very hard, so we'll just pull out this cake. Ashutosh, you can join us. Shantanu, you can join us. It's a...
Where's the knife?
Yeah, I have a knife. Fortunately, there is a knife. There's no tissue, but we'd like to have some tissue.
And
if we can have some tissue. Yes.
Mizoram also we predicted for MNF as high as 22 seats. Now they are sitting at 26 seats.
Pawan Verma is not with us in the studio, but sir, this cake is also coming to you. RPN Singh, one slice of the cake is coming to you. Amit Malviya, I don't know if you're in a mood to eat any cake, but if you are, one slice of the cake is coming your way as well. Pradeep Gupta, go for it. 1 second, since we're in the era of social media, can you just take a picture? This would be a good one to put out on Instagram and on Twitter. Let's go. Pradeep Gupta, well done. You deserve this cake. He's been working non-stop
And
on
one more
the ground.
thing, Rahul, I want to tell our viewers and to you all, MP being my home state, Chhattisgarh being my in-laws place, Sasural,
Yeah.
and in Rajasthan my fourth father, and Telangana, that is where I did my graduation from Kakatiya University, Warangal. Mizoram, I have no connect, but we also called Mizoram very accurately 22 for the MNF, they got 26.
Chalo sir, cake khila. Let's go for this. Well done, you Shantanu. Warm round of applause. Our cameraman can clap as well. This is quite incredible.
Amazing.
You,
It's a tough fight.
okay, that's a very big piece. Let me just give you a small piece. Here we go. This is for Pradeep, our data team at India Today, his entire team. And
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Good.
Okay, so we'll just cut the cake and have the rest sent around. I promise. Everybody in the studio is looking and wondering if they're getting some cake. I promise all of you, there's plenty of cake going around, so everybody's going to get a piece of this cake. Pawan Verma, the cake's coming your way as well. So we're going to have it sent in a short while from now to you. What do you think, Mr. Verma, are the big ticket takeaways, apart from the fact that India Today is India's election channel, what according to you are the big takeaways from today's verdict, sir?
No, I think it definitely shows a significant gain for the Congress party. And I think that India is not Congress Mukt Bharat by a long shot. But I think it's not time for premature euphoria in the Congress, because by all counts, they should have won Rajasthan with a larger majority. Madhya Pradesh, after 15 years of anti-incumbency, it's still battled down to the wire. The clear victory is in Chhattisgarh, but I think Telangana, they made a disastrously wrong alliance with the TDP, and the results are there to see. And in Mizoram, they have lost to the local party there. So the important takeaway from this election is that the BJP needs to introspect, look at some of the issues, particularly rural distress, some aspects of a very polarized, communally divisive agenda. I think the Congress needs to understand that without organization, cadre, strategy, communication, vision, you cannot only count on the negative vote, but you have to proactively also get some of the positive votes that come to you. So it's a mixed bag, Rahul, actually, lessons for all the major parties, and in particular, one last lesson: any party which claims to be national has to begin to treat its allies with greater respect, because all parties of that ilk are going to need allies.
Okay, so two straight questions,
In
Pawan
2019.
Verma. Do you believe the BJP is treating the Janata Dal United with respect as a national party, and you're an important ally in Bihar? We saw Upendra Kushwaha walk out in the NDA yesterday. Is there at all a possibility between now and February, March that the JDU also could have to consider, because Nitish Kumar frankly isn't quite getting the same kind of bow that he got with Atal Bihari Vajpayee and LK Advani. He doesn't like that. That's quite clear. Will there be a rupture? Will the volcano burst? Or if you, I want to answer that question more hypothetically and not so directly.
I'll give you a straight answer.
Yes, okay, go on.
The straight answer is that in Bihar, we had said right from the beginning that as the local party, regional party in Bihar, Mr. Nitish Kumar as the Chief Minister, we need to be given that status and that respect. We have got 50% of the seats. It's a 50-50 divide with the BJP, and it will have its own consequences on how the seats are divided in the assembly polls. Now, as far as Mr. Rupen Kushwaha, why he has walked out, he is best to answer. But I think that he will find that he is in a slightly wrong place, both between the NDA and the other alliance of the RJD.
Now, what do you, Pawan Verma, as a spokesperson and close confidant of Nitish Kumar, think about the kind of campaigning we saw from the likes of Yogi Adityanath? We'll chase Owaisi out of Hyderabad, we'll rename Hyderabad. In the end, the BJP picking up one seat in Telangana, questions will be asked about whether that kind of shrill, polarizing rhetoric was worth the effort. One seat is what your ally got at the end. Do you think in trying to put such communal agenda at the center of what they were pushing in this election, the BJP made a mistake?
Well, I think that communal agendas are beyond a point self-limiting, self-defeating and wrong for the country. Mr. Nitish Kumar is very clear on this, and I think as allies within the NDA, each of us carry a worldview and a point of view of our own, and that is why Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee had coined the phrase coalition dharma. I say to you that on communalism, it's a situation of zero tolerance on our part. We believe that a Hindu is not a puppet at the end of somebody's string twitching to some communal slogan. There are limitations to this kind of politics. And I want to say to you, I wrote about it once, that while many Hindus and most Hindus revere Maryada Purushottam Ram, almost every home in a Hindu home will have a Pratima or picture of Lakshmi as well. So if there are issues relating to Lakshmi, who stands for prosperity, including jobs, including dhanda, your work. These are issues which cannot be pushed under the carpet. And in particular, rural distress, we have taken a very strong stand on the agricultural sector and the need to do more for the farmers who are obviously under distress. So essentially what I'm saying is, we have a good seat sharing arrangement in Bihar. We expect to do well, but we also expect within a larger alliance for all allies and their point of view to be given.
But there's also some teams which are not celebrating, which are used to celebrating, and that's the BJP, which hasn't seen such a bad day at the hustings in a very long time. Amit Malviya, काफी सन्नाटा है आज in the BJP camp. There were several ministers who were lined up to join us in our prime time broadcast. None of them showed up, and I can imagine that this would have come as a bit of a shock. The BJP, virtually like a rampaging army, used to winning, used to vanquishing the Congress every time. You were thinking that there'll be a Congress Mukt Bharat. Instead, the Hindi heartland sending a message, Congress abhi zinda hai.
You know, Rahul, the BJP has a long tradition of taking defeats in stride. We have been on the winning path over the last few years, but before that, I can't remember how many elections the BJP would have lost, but we've risen every time because we have a very large number of dedicated, committed, ideologically anchored Karyakartas who come back to fight with a bigger vigor every time that we lose at the hustings. And I don't think it is going to be any different today. Although we may have been humbled at the hustings this time, but there is a lot that we can take back. Despite being in office for 15 years, we are still a formidable force in Madhya Pradesh. The battle has gone down to the wires. In fact, the BJP seems to have got more number of absolute votes in the state, and that's something that's very encouraging for us. Rajasthan, where nobody gave us a chance, and people said that, you know, why are you even wasting your time? We were in contention, and the Congress has barely made it to the halfway mark. So there's a lot that we can rejoice, and I think the position that we are in today, we will come back very strongly from where we are. But having said that, congratulations to the Congress party, which has done well in these state elections, and to KCR's party in Telangana and the Mizo National Front in Mizoram. The important highlight, though, of these elections is that Northeast is now definitely Congress Mukt, and we can see they are developing and doing very well, and I'm sure Mizoram will join the league of it. Telangana, while we have managed to get just one seat, we must not forget that we don't have a formidable organization presence there. That's something that we're going to work on in the next 5 years, and hopefully when the next elections come calling, we will be a major player in the state of Telangana.
I want to go across to RP and Singh as well. The message coming from Jaipur from your friend Sachin Pilot is, Chhod do Delhi, jao Padrona, stay there. Just work on the ground, forget about family, forget about friends, forget about the social circles of Delhi. Tambu gaad ke baith jao. That's the only hope the Congress has if it hopes to do well.
Well, Rahul, first of all, I'd like to congratulate you, your team, India Today, Aaj and Mr. Pradeep Gupta. And I hope you send some of that cake to me too. As far as the elections are concerned, the Congress has been working tirelessly in all the states. As far as you said about Padrona, that's where my home is, and I am there every month. And you might not see me, but I do work there too. But what I would like to say, what I found traveling in these 3 states of Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh, I've seen many state elections. But traveling through these states, what was really amazing is that the people were actually not voting against the state governments. The real anger was against the Prime Minister and the promises he had made to the people of this country. What I found really amazing is the kind of anger they had towards the Prime Minister, the kind of promises he had made to them, be it the farmers, be it the youth of this country, be it shopkeepers, be it small, medium business, meaning across sections of society, the kind of anger against.
Can I cut in to say, and I want to ask Ashutosh this question. One of the fears is, will the Congress get carried away? Will they think because they won the semi-final, ab bas final hamara hai, Modi is out, Shah is out. These are the most formidable political players we've seen in India's recent contemporary politics. They're not going to give up. They will do what it takes to fight back. The semi-final and the final are 2 different matches, Ashutosh.
Yeah, I fully agree with you that the final is always different and the semi-final is always different. These are 2 different ball games, and the final will be for the national politics, not for the state politics. That's point number 1. The point number 2 is, I think the Congress, where the Congress gained? The Congress gained because Congress has shown the mettle to take gambles, to take risk. The way the Congress is trying to transform itself from being a Muslim appeasement party to a Hindu party, it was a huge gamble. It could have backfired, it could have gone against Congress party, but Rahul Gandhi and the Congress took that gamble, and I think now it is paying them well. And they've also realized that the Nehruvian secularism is no longer relevant in Indian politics, and they had to rediscover. This is what I expected from the Congress party, and the Congress did try to discover themselves. And third one, which is very important, is that though Rahul Gandhi is probably the most underestimated politician, but he has shown that even the factionalism within the Congress, the factionalism which is one of the main features of the Congress party, he managed to handle this factionalism, whether in Madhya Pradesh or in Rajasthan, also in Chhattisgarh. And that's again very important. This showed that the Congress is trying to organize themselves, regroup themselves, and showing talent that they can fight back. And but
RPN, I can argue this the other way and say that it is because of the fighting spirit, the resilience and the never say die attitude of Modi and Shah that they're still in the race. After 3 terms of being in office, the fact that Shivraj Singh Chauhan's BJP in Madhya Pradesh can give you a real run for your money. 109 seats at this time for the BJP. Do you remember what happened when the Congress was in power for 3 terms in Delhi? You couldn't even open your account. 0 seats is what you got. They fought till the end. And if this had been 5 years of Congress government in Rajasthan, given the kind of work that have happened over the last 5 years, the Congress would have been down to 20 or 30 seats. The BJP has fought with their backs against the wall, with anti-incumbency chasing them. They've fought and they've made your life difficult. And the anti-incumbency against the state governments is much higher than the anti-incumbency against the centre, according to our PSC data.
Well, if you see Chhattisgarh, they were there for 15 years and they're down to 16 seats. You know, I'm just talking about what the feeling I got when I was traveling amongst people. It was these big ticket promises that the Prime Minister has made. They are all unfolding. You know, the corruption, the corruption charges that have been leveled at the Prime Minister's office, that is something which is having great resonance amongst the people. And that has also played a huge factor in these elections. You can talk about the numbers. And when I traveled to Madhya Pradesh and when I traveled to Rajasthan, in my press conferences, I said that very clearly. The more the Prime Minister travels in whichever state, the BJP is going to lose more badly.
This is an important attack from the Congress, and Amit Malviya needs to respond, because this is the charge the BJP would level at the Congress, that Rahul Gandhi is a pappu, wherever he goes the Congress loses. You actually saw Rahul Gandhi say, and now RPN Singh is saying, that the more Modi campaigns, the worse the BJP will do. There was an aura of invincibility that you'd built around the Prime Minister, that Amit Shah was the Chunavi Chanakya, Narendra Modi was the pinch hitter, that the Congress bowlers had no answer. All he had to do was show up, and he did 6 sixes and an over. Today's verdict shows that that aura of invincibility isn't quite the way you thought it would be.
You know, Rahul, the Congress's strategy is to throw charges at the BJP to try and undermine the Prime Minister. And if they by any chance win, say, oh, look, we told you these are the reasons why we have won. Simple cases about the rural distress. I keep hearing this in television studios, I keep hearing from the Congress spokesperson, but what's the reality? The reality is that the agriculture budget has doubled from 1 lakh crore to 2 lakh crore in the Modi regime. The reality is that crop insurance has seen a spike of 430% in the Modi regime over the Congress. The drip irrigation has gone up by about approximately about 300%. The fact remains, the Swaminathan committee was gathering dust under the UPA. It has been implemented by the Modi government, and 150% increase over the cost of production is being given. All of that is a reality. 11 lakh crore credit to agriculture sector has been given in 18-19. That is also a reality. But they keep harping on it. So there's an attempt to build a certain narrative. Now they speak about the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister went to Mizoram, he went to Telangana. Although we don't have an organizational presence as massive as we have in, say, Madhya Pradesh or Chhattisgarh or Rajasthan. But the Prime Minister is equally committed to travel to every part of India and pitch for
we
his
can't
party.
expect a
He
BJP
is
spokesperson
to
concede what the problems. One second, gentlemen. You can't expect a BJP spokesperson to concede that there is a problem. One second, RPNs. I'm just coming back to you. The fact is that this post-poll study done by India Today shows that Dalits, tribals, unemployed youth, farmers, farm laborers, first-time voters, that's a big section of society the BJP hoped were theirs. Key communities ahead of the 2019 elections have voted more for the Congress than for the BJP across the Hindi heartland. What should the BJP think tank, forget what they're saying on camera, what should they be thinking off camera, and how can they try and fix it?
So I'm saying, Rahul, you're right. BJP spokesmen have to do their job on the TV channel. But again, the margins, but the difference of vote share between them is very small. And I was just pulling the Nota data. The Nota data from MP is 1.4%, which is far more than the difference between two. The Nota data between in Rajasthan is 1.32%, which is more than the difference between two parties. So I know. I'm saying if you're ruling for 15 years, I'm sure there are sections of group who have not got what they might have expected. And after 15 years, there's a very new set of voters which is voting, and their expectation is totally different. So again, just pinching it that this is a verdict on the Chief Minister, this is a verdict on the Prime Minister, I think is calling it too early. And see the gap, 1.9 to 1.14 is still, I think, Election Commission, as you're calling, still the data is not out. And in Rajasthan, when we see the difference between parties is normally BJP used to go to 150, 160 with 73 seats. They're still in the running.
Shantanu, victory is a victory.
Victory is a victory.
With one ball, one wicket, one
nobody
seat.
can deny that.
If they have 101, they needed 100 there across the finishing line.
Totally
the BJP won 99 seats.
Totally with you. But
in the end, Jo Jeeta wahi Sikandar.
Rahul, here we are trying to slice and dice the data.
See, I think, Rahul, the one point which I want to make, I don't want to say that the Modi and the Amit Shah are the most overestimated politicians. The one fact which has been completely missed out is that the BJP had gained in those states where the anti-incumbency was very, very high against the government, what they like in Haryana, in Jammu, in Jharkhand, in Maharashtra, in Assam, in UP, and in Tripura. These are the states where the opposition government were in power for more than 5 years and there was strong anti-incumbency. Except in Gujarat, where the BJP was fighting to save its front, the BJP saved itself. In Karnataka, they could not dislodge and they could not form their own government.
But
So the real,
let me complete.
The real test was these 3 states where they should have saved the government. They could not save the government. My point is, it's easy to win the states where there was strong anti-incumbency against the opposition government. But why BJP could not retain its own ground where there was a strong anti-incumbency
Let's
against
see
its
if
own
Amit
government?
Malviya can respond to that. If Modi was as big a factor and Amit Shah was the tactical genius the BJP thinks, Ashutosh argues with strong chief ministers, with the RSS support, with the BJP cadre, you should have won despite the anti-incumbency. If Rahul Gandhi is a pappu, if there's only narrative and people are very happy with all the benefits the Modi government is giving them, you should have won 3-0. Why is it that you're losing 3-0 then? You must reflect on that, Malviya.
No, but absolutely, Rahul, and we are going to reflect, and we would have liked to won 3-0. But I quite like the expectation that people have of the BJP that despite being in office for 3 terms, 15 years long, we should win. We will try to win it. We will win these states back when the elections are called next time around. And I quite take this up as a challenge that the party will put its best foot forward. But the reality is that if you look at the numbers closely, whether it's Rajasthan or Madhya Pradesh, the BJP hasn't done bad at all. It's in the first past the post system, the Congress has got slightly ahead of us. But that's not taking anything from them, because at the end of the day, there is only one winner in a contest, and it seems that the Congress is going to be on the winning side this time. But don't whip the BJP for what is an unfair assessment of the party. Yes, we would have liked to win. Yes, we would have liked to buck what people call as anti-incumbency. But I call it a fatigue factor that has gone against us. It's not anti-incumbency. It's not that people don't like Shivraj Singh.
A senior minister in the Yogi Adityanath government who's watching this broadcast, whom I shan't name, just messaged to say, that you are saying Congress abhi zinda hai. Don't forget Tiger abhi zinda hai, and this is a wounded tiger. And nothing can be more dangerous than a wounded tiger because he's looking to strike back. There may have been a certain sense of complacency that the Congress is weak, we'll win 2019. With this hurt and injury, Modi and Shah now raring to go, he says.
Well, all I can say is Mr. Malviya rattled out many figures in front of the television camera. What I would like to say, why wasn't the Prime Minister talking about his achievements? What were his speeches? The Prime Minister never spoke about development once in any of his speeches.
That's totally
what has happened to the RBI? What has happened to the CBI? The whole government is collapsing. We aren't talking of a wounded tiger. Beg your pardon, I've heard his speeches, I didn't interrupt you, and we saw the kind of speeches. He spoke about Sonia Gandhi, he spoke about Jawaharlal Nehru, he spoke about Nana, he spoke about Nani, he spoke about how good a Hindu he is, or how little he knows about Hinduism, he spoke about how Hinduism is under threat. Where if all these figures that he's quoting, why wasn't the Prime Minister quoting these figures? Instead of constantly attacking the Congress party. Hello?
Yeah, we hear you, RP and Singh. We are allowing the Congress to speak. Don't be so surprised. The Congress is one. We're just staying quiet. We're letting you speak. This is your big day.
Yeah, I know.
Nobody's interrupting. So he was
he's used to the cacophony, somebody pouncing in, not used to being allowed to speak.
The promises he made for 4.5 years, the Prime Minister, why has he not talked about the promises he made? Why hasn't he spoken about farmers? Why hasn't he spoken about the corruption? Corruption, as I said, is one of the biggest issues which is hurting the BJP. The BJP doesn't want to talk about it. The BJP wants to brush it under the carpet, but the whole country, what they are saying.
Words from my guest. Will we see the campaign,
I don't want to say it on television because your viewers are saying
you think get more negative from here?
See, I tell you one thing.
In
2014, in 2014, the Modi could win because Modi himself was a big idea. Now the issue is in 2019, where is the big idea? Modi is repeating himself, Amit Shah is repeating himself, BJP is repeating himself, the same phrases, and they have no big idea. If they could not discover a new idea like the Modi discovered in 2014, Modi is certainly heading for a trouble.
Okay, so I need to slip into a quick break right now. We just had a word from Kamal Nath's office. They're still there, all of them together, keeping a hawk's eye. You know, the one thing that Goa taught the Congress really is you can't sit back and think we're the single largest and it'll fall into your lap. Modi and Shah will let nothing fall into your lap. If you want it, go grab it. They're making a grab for it. That's what's making things exciting and interesting. This is the semi-final. The final is a different match. And I kind of agree with the BJP minister from Uttar Pradesh who messaged me. I like the idea. You've got senior election commission officials watching, messaging, responding in real time. You've got ministers watching, responding, sending us ideas in real time. So that's always an interesting way of making this more and more interactive. Pradeep Gupta is our man of the match. The Congress can argue whether they want Gehlot or Sachin, or whether they want Kamal Nath or Jyotiraditya. We're not confused.
Rahul, it's full credit once again to Team Axis My India, and I must congratulate and thank them for making Axis so successful over last 5 years. And once again, I'm thankful to my team and my surveyors.
You know, and I also think it's only fair, because if you're wondering why we're patting our back so much, because over the last few days people were saying, oh, you're writing analysis and post-poll studies, isse kya hoga, ye to sab nakli. It's not. If you do a good survey, it does throw up trends. And I still believe on a night that we've got this right, that you can get vote share percentages and seat share projections here and there. But if you do a good, robust, representative sample survey, it gives you a sense of how people are thinking. And there is no other tool available to any student of politics to understand what the message is. There is a dire writing on the wall. The question is, will the BJP read that message, and what will they do in the next few months? Don't think they'll roll over. This is not the Congress. They're not conceding defeat. They're going to be shocked. They're stunned and they're silent tonight. But they will fight back. Of that you can be certain. I want to thank our guests for joining us. This has been a long night indeed. Our reporters on the ground, we're tracking this very closely. Ashutosh, I'm thinking, is now missing wanting to be an anchor once more. You are? Ashutosh, tell me the truth. You know, so much more fun than being a neta. You can bowl an off-spin ball, you can bowl swing. You know, you don't have to come and bat and defend the indefensible. Thank you so much.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you will love to.